Why second time is the charm for Danny and Christine on Young and the Restless? On the November 21st and November 24th episodes of The Young and the Restless, Christine and Danny officially got married. It nearly fell apart when Christine suffered an allergic attack, and Phyllis crashed the party. But that didn't stop them from making it official for the second time. Key takeaways. Christine suffered an allergic reaction while she was getting ready. Phyllis crashed Danny and Christine's wedding. Christine and Danny are getting married for the second time, despite their first marriage not working out. First is the worst. Danny, Michael Damian, and Christine's, Laura Lee Bell, first marriage didn't work because of Phyllis, Michelle Stafford. She drugged Danny and made him assume that they had slept together. This led him to believe that he had been unfaithful to Christine. Danny divorced Christine and remarried Phyllis. She ended up pregnant with their son, Daniel, Michael Graziade, who shared a gorgeous BTS with Kate Fairbanks. However, it was later revealed that Daniel wasn't Daniel's biological son. He eventually divorced Phyllis because he didn't love her as much as he loved Christine. But Christine couldn't trust Danny. He was always torn between the two ladies because one was exciting and thrilling, while the other was loving and committed. Phyllis sabotaged their efforts to reconcile over the years. Still, Phyllis sees Daniel as Danny's son to this day. She believed that they would end up together because of it. So, she had to have the final say on the matter by crashing their ceremony, stopping Red in her tracks. Danny ended up between Christine and Phyllis once again. However, he ultimately chose Christine in the end. Danny realized that Christine was someone who was stable and drama-free. The YNR super couple has been involved in a long-term relationship. After they reunited, Danny invited Christine to join him on tour, which reinvigorated their relationship. They needed to escape Phyllis and get to know each other again. After being on the road together for the past year or so, Christine and Danny decided to make their love official for the second time. After a 35-year separation, they are ready to commit. Danny proved to Christine that he has no interest in Phyllis or her games anymore. He wanted them to remain friendly and civil, that's all. Christine knows that she can trust Danny this time around. She has finally come to terms with their past, including the misunderstandings they had. Christine and Danny fans have been waiting for this moment to happen for decades. Now, they finally got to watch the wedding special, which aired on Friday, November 21st, and Monday, November 24th. CBS will also air the couple's first wedding on Thanksgiving Day. Check your local listings for details. When people talk about great soap opera romances, they almost always mention the couples who found their way back to each other after years, sometimes decades, apart. But few love stories in Genoa City have ever carried the same quiet gravity, the same unspoken longing, as Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair. From the moment their paths crossed as young adults struggling to stake their claims in the world, theirs was a connection built on warmth, respect, and a sort of electric innocence. They were each other's first real love. Not the reckless, impulsive kind, but something steadier, the kind that feels like home long before you realize you've moved in. And yet life, as Genoa City tends to remind its residents, is rarely kind to first loves. The first time around, Danny and Christine had youth on their side, but not timing. They were dreamers chasing different dreams. There was a world of opportunity calling to both of them. Danny had a rising music career that promised endless nights on the road, new venues, new audiences, and temptations he wasn't always equipped to handle. Christine, meanwhile, idealistic, intelligent, determined, was growing into someone the girl she once was hardly recognized. She wanted to help people, to fight injustice, to carve out a place for herself that belonged to her and her alone. In their early chapters, the foundation was love, but the obstacles were identity. Christine didn't want to play second fiddle to a tour bus or a music manager. Danny didn't want to be the reason she didn't leave town or build the life she deserved. And truthfully, neither had lived enough life to know what love required when the world demanded so much at the same time. They didn't fall apart dramatically. That was the heartbreaking part. They simply drifted. A little space. A little doubt. A few missed moments. And before anyone realized it, the very thing that had once seemed inevitable became something nostalgic, something boxed up neatly in the what-if corner of their minds. Years passed. Careers evolved. Relationships came and went. Hearts were bruised, healed, bruised again. And yet, somewhere in the background of their lives, Danny and Christine carried a soft, stubborn fondness for one another, the kind that doesn't fade with distance or distraction. People tried to rewrite their futures, introduce new loves, and create new destinies. But certain melodies stay stuck in your head no matter how many new songs you learn. Danny was Christine's melody, Christine was Danny's harmony. They just weren't ready to hear it yet. The magic of their second chance didn't happen in a burst of fireworks, but in a sequence of ordinary moments layered with history. A coffee shared after too long apart. A conversation that felt like no time had passed. A smile that hit a little too deeply. A memory that bubbled up at the wrong, or perhaps very right, moment. It wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't desperation. It was recognition. They saw each other again, really saw one another, and realized that the years between them had not weakened their bond but clarified it. This time, Danny wasn't the restless young musician pulled in every direction. He had lived the highs and lows of fame. He had seen the world enough to know what mattered and, more importantly, what didn't. The glitter of the stage had dulled, not in a depressing way but in a grounding one. He no longer chased applause. He chased authenticity. He wanted connections that lasted beyond an encore. One woman had ever truly given him that. Christine, too, had changed. She was no longer the girl with something to prove. She had proven it, again and again. She was strong, capable, steady, but also softer in a way that comes only from breaking a little and rebuilding intentionally. She no longer clung to independence out of fear that love might swallow her ambitions. She had learned that the right love enhances what you've built instead of endangering it. They had become people who were now capable of sustaining the love they always had for one another. Second chances are rarely about rewriting the past. They're about recognizing that the past wasn't the end of the story, just the prologue. For Danny and Christine, that second chance meant healing old misunderstandings. It meant acknowledging the ways they had hurt each other, not out of malice but out of immaturity. It meant laughing at mistakes, mourning the years they lost, and choosing to see the beauty in the fact that they found each other again at all.